Right now, at Future Focus, Euan Semple is giving some insights around communications and what it means for small and medium businesses and how they can leverage that in terms of their business.
Well, one of the blog posts I did years ago was a Scotsman's tip for ROI. Keep the I really small and nobody will give you a hassle about the R. And that is part of the ethos of these tools, is you shouldn't be spending an awful lot of money. It's marginal, it's incremental, don't oversell it, but it'll end up being very, very powerful and very significant. So I think that's part of the argument. The ROI thing is actually very quantifiable. Unlike most of the face-to-face stuff that's held up as being the best that it gets, online you can see who's said what, you can see who read what they said, you can see how often they posted, how often, there's a whole bunch of quantitative stuff that once you have these conversations, the ROI question sort of goes away. I think there is a trend towards increased ownership by people of their own brand, their own work life, I guess. It's partly technological and partly societal that is going to continue. So there are more and more CEOs going home in the evenings and playing with the sort of stuff that I'm into and thinking, hang on, this is kind of cool and it works. And then I go to work and there's all these guys telling me, no, I can't have it and I can't do it. That's causing tension already. I think that's just going to increase.
You hear these nightmare stories where people have jumped in and said we need to tweet or we need to be on Facebook. They haven't really done it with a view of around strategy. What are you advising clients? What are the dangers of just jumping in without any real thought?
Or even worse, chief execs blogging because they think it's trendy. I think there's a real risk at the moment that it is being hyped up, that there's an implicit pressure on people to get with it and get involved. That I would agree there's a real risk. If you don't have anything to say and you haven't paid your dues and done a bit of looking and a bit of listening and a bit of working out what this is all about and how it works, don't touch it with a barge pole. I think the large corporate entities that we've all thought were inevitable are actually beginning to crumble under their own weight. And the potential for networks of smaller, less bureaucratic, less encumbered organisations is, I think, just going to increase. So I think SMEs are the prime candidates for getting in and getting involved in this sort of stuff. And I think also that there's a degree to which the sort of sanitisation that business has engendered of engagement. People like passion. They like passionate businesses. They like passionate people that stand up and do stuff and make things happen. And again, SMEs have got more of that than average.
What kind of organisations are well equipped to respond to the opportunity that resides in social media?
Well, I get to work with a whole range from very unexpected to groups, as I said earlier, from NATO to the World Health Organization to whatever. It's not so much about the organisation or the culture as the combination of people that they have in it at a particular time. If enough people are getting to the point where this makes sense and there's a degree of tolerance and a degree of willingness to let it run, then that's more likely to happen. The thing that I get the most kick out of when I do workshops for people is seeing that little glimmer of hope that they could say what they think and be listened to, which has been driven out of them for most of their working lives.
Thank you very much.